Morning, everyone. I'm Shad, Zanu, Nadia, Alyssa, Anthony, and Noam. We are Basque, and we are also the creators of the cleanser. So who we are. Where we started at College of San Mateo. We all were in a communications class, and we had a project that we were doing, and then we saw the potential that each person had, and later on in life we collaborated, came together, and developed an amazing product which we're presenting to you today. Our mission statement is to bring Our mission statement is to bring a new product that redefines washers and dryers. And the end game is to make the cleanser the most desirable two-in-one product on the market. Next up, starting off with marketing, it's going to be Nadia.
CMO.
Alrighty.
Want me to go?
Humans developed a long-lasting love to wear clothes. It started 170,000 years ago, and since then there have been many clothes invented. Jackets, cardigans, dresses, gowns, socks. And this love requires proper care routines. And how many of us like to do our laundries? Neither. That's right. So the habit of washing clothes easily is relatively a new one and appeared only in the second half of the 20th century. Throwing your dirty clothes on the floor, then putting it to your washing machine, pressing a few buttons, reloading, pressing again, and you're done. But it wasn't always like that. Ancient civilizations often found themselves laboriously washing clothes down by the local river. For example, ancient Romans were highly concerned about hygiene and their physical appearance. And eventually, the Roman poolers, people who cleaned, dyed, washed, and dried clothes, became indispensable to Roman life. And it were the Romans who invented the first laundry rooms. But nowadays, in some locations of the world, such as banks or river gangs or Lake Chad, people still do that. So the study found that in Peru, Islam, doing laundry takes averagely 6 hours per week and 6 hours per day and 3 times a week. Okay. So, in Africa, people have to walk upwards of 4 miles each way to access the water required to wash their clothes. So, this is a very time-consuming practice and very laborious one. During the Industrial Revolution, washing began to obtain some recognizable characteristics. The washboard, for example, invented by Scandinavians and highly improved at that times, and the primitive rigid wooden frame was improved with the metal sheets and rubber. But as technological, scientific, and chemical advances continues to dominate, old methods of washing were almost completely eradicated by the new implements with soaps and washing powders. And this led to the first electric powder machine in 1908 and the first automatic washing machine in 1951. People who didn't own had to go to laundromats. And this practice would involve carrying the laundry to the shop, waiting for it to wash, transferring it to a dryer, waiting for it to dry, and then carrying it back home again. But today, washing machine remains a mainstay of many modern homes. According to the recent survey, 90% of all households in the USA have washer machine at home. And today, our company presents the latest and the smartest invention in the washing industry, the brilliance of human engineering thought, the cleanser, the washer and dryer combo, indispensable for every household, no matter of the size of a family, no matter of their geographic location and indoor space availability. The cleanser can be adjusted and accommodated to all these demands and restrictions. The first and the major quality of the cleanser is its convenience. It takes less effort to do your laundry since the cleanser does it all in a one-step process and there is no need to wait and reload. It also saves one's time. You can throw your dirty clothes in the machine, leave and come back home later to pull out clean, refreshed, dry clothes ready to wear. The cleanser is also silent and can be working during the night and do not disturb you and your family, so you can rest and get your clothes ready. It does the laundry while you sleep. There is no need to go to laundromats and wait for the necessary machines, as well as you don't need to accommodate your schedule to visiting those facilities and waiting there to reload. The cleanser brought home can spare you from all these highly unpleasant things. Additionally, it's much more hygienic to use your own laundry machine rather than using public ones, especially if you came to wash delicate garments or lacy expensive underwear. The cleanser is better than the other washing and drying machines due to some very important aspects. For instance, it's very compact, it takes half the space. Thus, it can be easily accommodated in the tiniest of the spaces in the most urbanized cities. Having it in the Bay Area would give its possessor an extra free space for something more beautiful than two giant laundry machines incorporated in the bathroom or kitchen. The cleanser has cycles and can be used both or independently, without reloading, reprogramming in a one-step process. The cleanser is cheaper than the separate machines, since you're getting one machine instead of two. So cleanser is a budget-friendly option. And finally, the cleanser is environmentally friendly and takes less water, less energy, and less detergent. This presentation was made to show how cleanser was improved and modernized in technological era and adapted to tight schedule of busy people and for whom every minute is matter. So the next step of washer's evolution after the cleanser will be throwing dirty laundry in the wash before work and coming home to clean dry clothes neatly hanging in your wardrobe. That's it.
You don't want to do your story?
No, I don't.
Okay, it's fine.
Just make sure you introduce him.
Sure.
So, and the next word, the next speech will be held by Shad, our senior manager. Senior manager. Who recently got the owners as a best worker.
Promoted.
All right, hello everyone. As you know, I'm Shad. So today I'm going to go over the competition of the cleanser. So who else is out there that has a product, a 2-in-1 washer and dryer, that we are looking to beat in the market. Slide, please. So where it started. So unfortunately, Bass did not invent the 2-in-1 washer and dryer. Actually, the first person to ever originate the 2-in-1 washer and dryer was LG. At least within the United States. I know that there have been other companies outside the US, like in European countries, that have had the 2-in-1, but within the US, LG was the first one to originate it. LG introduced an amazing capability, and LG introduced an amazing capability by allowing somebody to throw their laundry in one washer, wash their clothes, and without taking it out and throwing it in another machine, dry it. By developing this, a lot of people were able to tackle many other tasks besides just sitting around the washer waiting for it to wash, so they could throw it in the dryer without it getting moldy or having a mildew smell. So as of right now, LG is still rated as the best 2-in-1 washer dryer on the market. That is until the cleanser comes out. So other companies have attempted to mirror the LG, but have major flaws. And next slide. And so flaws are what I'm going to go over next. So if you want a decent 2-in-1 washer and dryer, it is extremely expensive for the capabilities that it brings to the table. The best one, the LG, as we were talking, as we discussed, it runs around $1,800. With that being said, there's major flaws that many people have left reviews as to why they find it to be very overpriced. So the time it takes to wash and dry a product, taken away from, as the Wirecutter said it in their article, the best washer-dryer combo is the LG. But therefore, in the same article, they're still complaining about the time it takes to wash and dry products. This time can take up to anywhere between 3.5 to 4.5 hours. Now, if you have things to do, places to be, nobody wants to sit around for 3.5 to 4.5 hours to wait for a certain article of clothing to be washed and dried to go attend whatever you need to attend. So it takes a much greater amount of time to do a large load. So with this being said, if you were to do an average size load, which is an 8-pound load, that itself takes roughly 3.5 to 4.5 hours to do the whole load. If you were to, as I like to do, smash that washer completely full and try to wash as much product as you can in one go, and then again dry the same thing, that's going to extend the time it takes. So it's already going to be in between 3.5 to 4.5 hours. Now if you want to increase that load by any capacity, it's going to end up taking a much greater amount of time. So the cheaper versions out there, other than the LG, that you can find on Amazon or other websites that typically fall underneath the $1,200 range, those machines and products typically experience these issues at a much higher rate. Excellent. So many individuals are aware of all these flaws that we were discussing, and they tend to buy the product anyway. So the reviews on the competition, so there are many reviews that I have located on different websites, Home Depot being one of them, where the LG washer and dryer, which is still known to be one of the best on the market, has many low ratings. So these low ratings are for things that, for reasons that we discussed earlier, for the time it takes to wash and dry. If you want to do a larger load, then it's going to take even longer. So there's also higher ratings. With that being said, there is high ratings. It does bring conveniency to certain households, high ratings, but it still mentions the same issue as a low rating. So these are things that people have just went ahead and accepted with the product. So in my opinion, if you're going to pay that much for a product, wouldn't you want it to do what it is designed to do? You want it to wash and dry the clothes, but you also, without having to remove the articles of clothing, but you also want it to do it in an acceptable amount of time, which 3.5 to 4.5 hours or even more is not acceptable. So some households, in these reviews that I was covering, or that I was researching, some households have even bought 2 units. So 2 units, each one being $1,800 in order to do an amount of laundry that would be efficient to keep up with the household's use of their article of clothing. So, and as I've discussed before, consumers find this product to be very expensive for what they get. It brings awesome capability, but then again, it is just taking way too long to do this. And so this is something that we find acceptable here at Basque. Go ahead and go to the story one. Wow, I cannot read that. So here's a little comic book image of the competition with LG, our #1 competitor, and us, Basque. As you can see, it starts off, the home of the originator, the LG. It is all hoax. Nice from afar, but ultimately it's filled with many flaws, and I plan to expose it. I run in there, I ask where LG is at. I'm here to expose a 2-in-1 washer and dryer. LG is super cool about it. They think they have nothing to worry about. They're like, right here, dude, I'm LG. What is there that you could possibly expose? I'm the best. I call them out. Your product is pathetic. It has many flaws, but unfortunately people deal with it because you're the only decent option on the market. that is coming to an end, and I'm here with Clan Basque, and we developed the cleanser, a far superior product than your garbage that you have on the market. And as you see, LG is left proud. So here I have identified some issues that we're seeing with our competitors. My team and I are here to ensure that you do not experience the same issues that others are having with the competitors' products. So the next one up that's going to cover design and appearance is going to be Noam.
Thank you, Senior Manager. Using the past marketing and competition, we looked at our design philosophy, what we were going to do with these things in mind, and how we were going to make the best product we could. So we started with our customers in mind. What could we do to get the best out of a washing machine? I can't read that. What could we offer? What could our best design look like? How could our product be different? What makes us stand out? And what was our purpose? What was our end game? So we did a few things, and we came up with our final design. Next. The final design, we made it to fit anywhere. If you look on the right, the diagram, it's 27 inches by 27 inches by 43 inches in height. And this is from Goa Deckers, who found out that about 85% of all washing machines, the 2-in-1s, fitted in 27 inches by 27 inches by 43 inches. So this will fit 85% of the market that we're aiming for. Great bargain. So we also designed that everything that you don't need on the washing machine shouldn't be there in the first place. So we got rid of all the unnecessary buttons, the knobs, the wheels, the drawers, everything that didn't need to be there shouldn't have been there, and we got rid of it. Instead, we replaced it with one screen at the top, right above the open hinge door, the clear open hinge door, and we made it a clean white color. This was because Consumer Reports reported that clean white washing machines were the most popular bought color, and that makes it match every environment. Furthermore, we designed the door so in case you place it on the right side of the room or the left side of the room, you could open it either way. And to top it off, even though our product fits in every single possible space imaginable, we have the biggest capacity on the market at 4.2 cubic feet. Shad, Senior Management, thank you. Next slide. Additional features. So we thought, what next? What else could we add onto it? So we looked around and we saw tech. What do people want? They want more virtual connectability. So we added our own virtual assistant. We integrated with our universal cloud platform, meaning that you can connect to it through Wi-Fi, 4G, and out of the house. So our washing machine also has under an hour washing time. According to CNET, the average washing time is about 1 hour and 42 minutes, including washing and drying. Ours is under an hour. Additionally, we thought, what better way to make it connect than to your smartphone? So we designed an app just for it. And there's much, much more, which would be, oh, fuck, the storyboard. Should I come really close? No, next is, I'm informant, I'm good. Next, technology will be done by our CTO, Anthony.
Yo, what's up guys, I'm Anthony. Researched the technology for the cleanser. So I mean, we all have smartphones. I'm sure everybody in this room has a smartphone. So we have a smartphone application and virtual assistant integration. And we adopted from the Samsung washer. It's LED touch panel with some useful features. And it also has the fastest wash dry time in under an hour. Go to the next slide. So our smartphone application is called VAST, and you have the ability to remotely start, stop, and pause a load of laundry anywhere, at home, out and about. You throw your clothes in, and then you leave, and then you start them like an hour later. You're going to be home in an hour, and they're ready to go to fold when you get home. So in this application, you have a full selection of the modes that the cleanser offers, and you also get push notifications. So it'll tell you when the load is finished washing and drying, and you can program custom wash and dry cycles. Next slide. So we all love our virtual assistants, Siri, Google Home, and Alexa. So you can tell your virtual assistant commands, like the picture on the right here says, you say, start my load of laundry, and Siri will tell your washer to start your load of laundry. And also, in addition to starting your little laundry, you could tell Siri, Google Home, Alexa to stop your little laundry or pause your little laundry. And you can also have the virtual assistant tell you when the load is finished. So Alexa will say, your laundry's finished. Google Home, your laundry's finished. And it also starts a timer, and it'll go off when it's finished. So you can ask Alexa or Google Home or Siri, how much time do I have left? And it'll tell you how much time you have left. Next slide. So the cleanser's features. It has an LED panel, which we adopted from the Samsung Electronics washer dryer. Kind of just, had our own little flair on it. So it has 15 pre-made washing cycles, like for towels and bedding and dress clothes. And it has its own energy-saving mode, which uses less water to reduce your electricity bill. And you can make 10 custom-made wash-dry cycles, all done in the smartphone app. And you have full customization of that. Next slide. And our final point of technology is we have the fastest wash and dry time, which is just under an hour, which is up to par with one of our competitors, AEG. But on the other hand, it's still more energy efficient than the other competitors. And the storyboard. So the storyboard is some people were dancing in a club, and this guy goes, "Oh no, I forgot to start my little laundry." And he's like, "Oh, wait a minute. I remember I just got the new cleanser, and it has virtual assistant integration." So he says, "Hey Siri, start my load of laundry." And then Siri starts his load of laundry. He's still dancing in the club, and there's people in the back who are like, "Wow, isn't that really cool? I need one of those." So next slide. So just to recap, we have a smartphone application, very easy to use, and virtual assistant support with the ability to start, pause, and stop your little laundry. And we have a really nice LED touch panel with 15 pre-made modes and 10 custom ones, and one of the fastest wash-dry times, while still being energy efficient. And next, we have Alyssa, who's going to talk about the environmental impact of our cleanser.
Okay, so today I'm going to be telling you about the environmental impact of our 2-in-1 washer and dryer, the cleanser. Okay, so one issue that we wanted to try to fix was that a standard washer and dryer machine uses around 75% of energy for just one load of laundry, and most of that energy is contributed to heating water. So we decided to fix that issue by creating our energy saving mode, which utilizes more cold water than warm water and almost cuts the amount of energy in half. So with our energy saving mode, you'll be using only about 40% of energy as opposed to 75%. So it's obvious that using cold water saves energy and obviously money. But aside from benefiting your finances, just using warm water in general when washing and drying clothes will cause the dyes in your clothes to break down, and eventually those clothes may shrink. So it's just overall positive to use cold water, and it will guarantee a longer clothing life. And another issue that we wanted to try to fix was avoiding scented products for our users. So a lot of scented laundry detergent and dryer sheets do contain hazardous chemicals, and these hazardous chemicals emit volatile organic compounds, also known as VOCs. And these VOCs are classified as carcinogens by the Environmental Protection Agency. And for those who didn't know, carcinogens are a substance capable of causing cancer in living tissues. So aside from the internal detrimental effects that these toxic pollutants have, they can also cause physical ones as well, such as they could irritate your eyes, cause skin reactions, headaches, and even cause asthmatic reactions. So we want to try to encourage all of our users to avoid using scented products. So one idea that we came up with was to create our own special liquid detergent and dryer sheets. So they are scent free, and if you sign up, you will only have to pay $10 per month, and that is included with the delivery fee and shipping fee, and you just get a month's supply of special liquid detergent and dryer sheets. And then lastly, another issue we wanted to try to overcome was the amount of water used per washing and drying load. So an average washing and drying load uses around 41 gallons of water per load. So with the cleanser, we cut that in half. So you'll only be using around 20 gallons of water per washing and drying load. And a standard house dryer is responsible for around 6% of the average home energy use. And with our energy saving mode, we also cut that in half, so you'll only be using around 3%. And the average washing and drying machine uses around 35,000 gallons of water each year, and we cut that down to 20,000 gallons of water per year. And then lastly, this is my storyboard. So it's just a teacher informing students in her classroom about the environmental impacts of having the cleanser. And there's a few kids in the back of the classroom who are kind of interested in it, and eventually one of the girls on the bus ride home talks to her friend about potentially convincing her mom to get a cleanser, and her friend continues to feed into that idea and tells her that his parents have one at home. So she gets home and then she starts to plant the seed about her mom buying the cleanser. And next we have Anu, who's going to be talking about the finances of the cleanser.
Hello. Alright. So we try to fix the main problems in a lot of the other ones, and one of the problems was rusting within the washer and dryers. To make it more resistant to rusting, we combined gold and steel together, because gold doesn't rust at all. So like if we combine them together, it will last longer. And then the average lifetime of washers and dryers are around 11 years, so it should be lasting around 15 to 20 years. So you wouldn't have to spend more money on another washer. And, another thing that we spent money on was our technology, like Noam and Anthony talked about. We enhanced the how easy it is to start a load or even stop it. This kind of helps up just like for people who are always on the move, people who are busy, they like always scatterbrained, people that have kids. It should be very like time saving and money saving, because you won't have to redo a load, or even if you forget, you won't have to keep on doing loads over and over, just wasting time. And then another thing that we spent a lot of money on was us trying to be eco-friendly, because I know that like in the future everyone's trying to become more eco-friendly, save the earth and stuff. So we spent our money on maximizing our water usage, and a way that we did that was we made it into a side washer instead of a top loader. These side washers use around 40% less water, and also more energy efficient. And then let's see, we're setting our price around $1,600 to $1,900. We're trying to keep it more moderate so everyone in the U.S. can have one in their household. And then also, that's all. And then I have my storyboard. My storyboard is 3 different stories, and the first one's the top and bottom. Talks about how he's gonna put gold inside the washer, and then he just finds gold out of nowhere. And then the middle one is I think he's talking about the convenience of a washer. So then he tries to use the washer and just leaves because he is too lazy. He's too lazy to change his wash to the dryer, so he just left. And then the right one's explaining, he's like, oh, it's such a nice environment. And then the lady on the bottom's explaining, like, oh, there's a nice washer dryer company up the road. They're so energy efficient and water conserving. And then we have our conclusion.
So we talked about all the benefits. It saves you money, saves you time. It's going to get to a lot of people very quickly. It's cheaper than the competition. Let's get rich together. Back the cleanser today. Thank you for your time.
Watch it, I didn't do it the whole time.
Bro, every day.